Okay, Anne. So this is the 8-week hybrid course that you requested. What we did was we took the meat of your 16-week online course and parts of your 16-week face-to-face course, and we changed and redesigned those raw materials into something totally new. It's, as mentioned before, it's 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It's in a hybrid format now. So that means that we're going to be consuming a lot of the materials online that maybe we would have consumed at home,
Mm-hmm.
and changed up the order of things so that we do what we need to do in class, what can be done and what needs to be done in class. We're doing that in class now. And what can be done at home, we're doing at home in order to make this a more practical and palatable sort of course. So this should all look familiar.
Yep.
This is the home page that we've already seen before. Works exactly the same as the old home page with your introduction.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So if we take a look at the module look, we also added a short introductory video on the hybrid format itself.
Oh, great.
EDUC 1300, the learning goals.
This has been, I really appreciate this video that you all created. This is going to be really helpful, not just for this particular section that I'm working on, but to be able to share with other EDUC 1300 instructors. This video really, it's a good idea. I hadn't thought about that, of having something specific about hybrid. That was a really good design idea, but also that you did it in a really clean, to the point, and it integrates into the design of the pieces that were already there.
The idea is that, hey, we're introducing you to, hey, this is hybrid. You've probably never seen this before. So we're introducing you to that, and we're introducing you to EDUC 1300 because these are two things that are probably new to the students. So that's what this video intends to do. And it really just works with all the other materials, the other Start Here materials,
Mm-hmm.
including the resources for how to use the basic stuff like Zoom
Mm-hmm.
and assignments and grading, how rubrics get started. So the intent is that this is to be consumed before the class.
Mm-hmm.
We're asking you to take a course that is sometimes taught in 16 weeks. You're a college student now. This is something that we're asking of the student to get out of the way before we even begin.
Right.
So once we begin, we're diving head on, straight into the material. In our very first module, all the modules are going to have a really similar feel and organization of them. You're going to be asked to consume the resources and then do all the assignments, participate in the discussions.
This is another design idea that you all came up with in terms of adding that not only the module resources, discussions, and activities that I use in my other classes, but to delineate the discussions as a separate highlighted item within the modules. I really do think, especially in this hybrid, that's important, and that is a good way. I like that suggestion.
Something else we wanted to delineate were the projects that we're going to carry over the course of the entire 8 weeks. So for example, in module 5 is probably the better example. Normal setup with the intro, resources, assignments, discussions, activities that are to be done in class. And then we've delineated these two projects. So we have our career project in this example. All of this stuff is set apart. So all of this stuff, it's made clear that this is not all due this week. This is something that you need to be aware of and been working on this week. Obviously, your due dates are going to also say that, but this is just to say, hey, this is kind of a part.
Yep.
This is a little bit aside from Module 5.
Yeah,
Keep note of that and also be looking for that.
Yeah, and that's what I like is that it's visually distinct, but that it helps keep them looking at things in a linear way.
Check that out. Okay, so aside from the 8 modules, we also wanted to include all of the career, so the career stuff actually could be added into this module. Just copied into it so that it's also available down there. And that's kind of, this stuff is for administration.
And that is something I've tried putting it in the module, the career project and group work project. I've tried putting them in the module, and I've tried having them as their own separate module. This is sort of one of those aha things, that to have it in both places, to have it within the module the week that it's being introduced, but to also have it standing, because that's one of the beauties for me of Canvas is within the course outline and within the grades, it's only listed one time, but here in the modules, it's repeated. And so I can't tell you why I'd never thought about that before, because I've tried both versions. I didn't ever try the blended of, well, let me do both, and I like that.
We can like read it like a book, or we can also treat it like a site where we can just go and grab or look at whatever we want to look at the time, but it's also linear for us because that's the way our minds think. It's important to have it there, but it's also important to put it aside just in case you don't want to wade through all of the other stuff that's actually in that module.
And those are, those are the headers that I use in my classes, so that as they complete modules, I move them down so that, and this is any modality that I teach in, and this was actually a suggestion one of the student assistants in the ELC made to me, of how much, and boy, students tell me all the time how helpful that is. So I just keep that header down there, and I don't publish it, the header of completed modules. I make it published after we finish module 1, and then when we finish module 1, I publish completed modules. I go up and move module 1 to underneath there, so that it always keeps this module list current, that they've got the start here and the current module immediately below it.
And if you wanted to, as a teacher, as an instructor, you could move this header up, above, or really anywhere. The great part about this is that you can give it to any instructor and they can kind of make it their own, or do how they want to do with it. They could keep it in this format, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth, or they could just choose to show what it is they feel like showing during that week and setting aside everything else. It's really up to the instructor how they want to do this and how they think it's going to be best for their students and what it's proven best for their students.
Well, I appreciate this. It is exactly what I was looking for. This, as I told you of, that I've already been working this through our academic side of, with the dean has given me the verbal approval that she's good with changing the 8-week course that I have normally taught in a pure on-site version, to take it and move it to a hybrid of whether or not we're right under the wire in terms of being able to get this done for the fall, and that's not us. It's all the other things that need that to happen, but that she has assured me that definitely by spring, and that's what's great, is I've got this ready. So that if I do get cleared to teach the hybrid format in the fall, I've got this and ready to go. But that if it needs to wait till spring, that's okay as well. So this, in terms of not only the product that you created and the ideas you gave me, but the time frame in terms of doing this was really helpful.
Well, hopefully the OAB, the Online Advisory Board, feels about it the same way you do, and we get flying colors and a check and a pass, and this can go on the resume for the higher ed group. So
there you go.
2 thumbs up.
Yep, exactly. Well, thank you.